may be seated. Are all parties present? Please introduce yourself to the court.
My name is Mukul.
And my name is Meena Sharma.
And we will be representing the Crown in today's trial. Representing the defense today are our friend, Riley Nickelford, and Robert Cook.
Thank you very much. Could you please stand to read the charge to the accused?
Members of the jury, the prisoner stands charged by the name Wally Brogue that in the city of Toronto in the judicial district of York, Ontario, on or about the 14th day of July, he did unlawfully commit murder in the first degree of David Benning contrary to the provisions of S214 of the Criminal Code of Canada.
And Wally Brogue, where would you be sitting? Could you stand, please, to hear the charge? Thank you. And could you stand, court, please, and ask them how do they plead guilty or not guilty?
Do you plead guilty or not guilty?
Thank you. You may be seated. Crown Counsel, do you wish to make your opening statement?
Yes. So, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, we are here today to prove the guilt of that man, Wally Brogue, in the death of David Benning. We will be presenting to you today 3 witnesses that will prove beyond a reasonable doubt that Wally Brogue is guilty of this charge. The defense will try to prove that this man is innocent. They would have this guilty man set free. We, as the Crown, would not see this happen. We think that Wally Brogue is guilty of first-degree murder and only first-degree murder. Any other charge would be unjust. I ask you, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, and your honor, to make the right choice today and send Wally Brogue to prison for first-degree murder. Thank you.
Thank you, Crown Counsel. Defense Counsel, do you wish to make your opening statement?
Yes.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, and your honor. My name is Robert Thorpe, and this is my partner, Ryan Nickelford, and we're here today to defend Wally Brogue. What the prosecutors are going to try to do is try to prove Wally guilty and prove him. Sorry.
It's okay. Take your time, Counselor.
What the prosecutors are going to try to do is prove this innocent man guilty. That is not what justice is. Justice is when we take a guilty man or woman and put them into prison. We have 3 witnesses today, and now they will all prove to you that Wally is innocent. The truth of the matter is, it does not matter what Wally is accused of doing or saying. This man is innocent. Wally Brogue is not a murderer. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Defense Counsel. Crown Counsel, do you wish to begin your case and call your first witness?
Yes, Your Honor. I'd like to call to the stand Officer Lowe.
Officer Lowe.
Officer Lowe.
Clerk, can you please swear in Officer Lowe?
Do you swear that the evidence you're about to give the court and jury sworn between our sovereign lady, the Queen, and the prisoner at the bar shall be truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Thank you. Could you speak a little louder for the court, please? Thank you. Can you please state your name for the court?
My name is Officer Lowe.
Thank you, Officer Lowe. Could you please proceed?
Officer Lowe, on the 14th of July, what were you doing?
I was driving around in my car with Officer Sandhu.
Did you get a call that day?
Yes, I did.
What was the call about?
It was a call about some man who's fallen off a balcony.
What did you do after the call?
I immediately proceeded to the crime scene.
As you reached the crime scene, what did you see?
I saw a crowd, and once I got to the crowd, there was a dead body on the ground.
Where was this body located?
It was located beside a girl and a bunch of other people.
Okay. Was there any buildings close by?
Yes, there was. There was an apartment.
Did you identify the body?
Yes, I did. It was David Benning.
Was there, okay. Did you confirm their identity?
Yes, I did.
The woman next to the body, did you confirm her identity?
Yes, I did. It was Sandra Wilson.
What did she say?
She said that he killed him, and yeah.
You mentioned an apartment. Did you walk into it?
Yes, I did.
What did you see?
I saw the room of David Benning's apartment open, and once I got inside, I noticed marijuana and also known an empty beer bottle and a broken radio and a body standing on the porch.
The man on the balcony, did you confirm his identity?
Yes, I did.
To whom did it belong to?
It belonged to Wally Brook.
What was Wally Grove doing?
He was looking down and he was very nervous.
The scene around him, what did you see?
I saw a broken radio.
Okay. How was Wally Grove's body language?
He was nervous and his eyes were red.
Did you question him?
Yes, I did.
What did he say?
He said that he didn't say anything because he didn't have a lawyer at the time.
Okay. What happened next?
I took him down to the police station and got his breathalyzer test.
Okay. Did you collect any evidence from the scene?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Can you confirm this? Can you confirm this as the confirmation that the substance that you did find was marijuana and that this was the breathalyzer test as well?
Could you please hand this to the witness so you can confirm?
Yes. What was it?
Would you like to submit that as evidence?
Oh, I would like to submit this as evidence.
So that would be exhibit A and B.
This is exhibit A and B.
Thank you very much.
When Wally Grove was being questioned, what did you do?
I collected all the evidence and drew a map of the apartment of where everything was.
Okay. Can you confirm this as the map of the apartment?
Yes.
I would like to submit this as evidence C. Yes.
Thank you. Exhibit C.
Thank you. This is the end of questioning Officer Lowe.
Thank you. Defense counsel, do you wish to cross-examine?
Officer Lowe, the first thing that you saw when you walked into the apartment was marijuana and it was correct?
Yes.
And it was fresh as you could smell it, correct?
Yes.
So would you suggest that David was easily high at the time as well as Sandra? Okay. When you saw Wally, he said it was an accident, correct?
Yes.
So wouldn't you say an accident may be interpreted as someone just falling, not being pushed?
Possibly.
Would you say Wally was physically impaired at the time from alcohol consumption?
Yes.
Then I'm pretty sure he would not have the lack. I'm pretty sure he would have the lack of coordination to actually physically control David over the correct?
Yes.
So then you're just taking Ms. Brolowski's opinion on the matter, even though she was high, right?
But she was there.
Okay. Is there any other evidence that Wally actually killed David? Were you aware it was Wally that called the police and not Sandra?
Yeah.
So if Wally actually had not done it, then there would have been no reason for him to call the police, correct?
Yes.
Thank you for your time.
I would like to object. Him calling the police, Your Honor, I would like to object. Wally Grove calling the police is a sign of guilty conscience. That's what I'm going to say.
Objection. There's no proof that that is.
The question, it was phrased as a question, Counselor. It was not phrased as a statement, but thank you for your objection. It is over.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Defense Counsel. Crown Counsel, do you have another witness you'd like to call?
Yes, Your Honor, I would like
Oh,
to.
I'm sorry, you may be seated, officer. Thank you for your testimony
Sandra Velosky.
Sandra Volsky?
Do you swear that the evidence you are about to give to the court and jury sworn between our sovereign lady, the Queen, and the prisoner at the bar shall be truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I did.
Thank you. Please state your name for the court.
Oh, my name's Sandra Wolski.
Thank you, Ms. Volsky. Can you be seated, please?
Miss Volsky, how old are you?
I'm 18.
What is your relationship to the defendant?
I'm his girlfriend.
How long have you and David Benning been together?
We've been together for 2 years.
How long have you been living together?
We've been living together for about 6 months.
Okay. Where were you two living at the time?
We were living at his apartment at number 405-509 Industrial Street.
On the 14th of July at 9 p.m., where were you? And what were you? No, where were you?
I was at his apartment. We were hanging out.
Who were you with?
I was with David Benning.
What were you and David Bennings doing at the apartment?
We were listening to music and drink a little bit.
How much did he have to drink?
Not a lot.
To what extent do you think David was impaired?
I think his mind was still pretty clear.
What happened at around 9 p.m.?
I heard a knock on the door, so I answered it.
What happened after you answered the door?
It was Wooly outside the door, and I could smell this strong alcohol.
Did Wally seem? Sorry.
Okay.
It's fine if you interrupt the witness.
Okay.
Counsel.
Did Wally Broke seem aggravated at the time?
Yeah, his eyes were red.
Did he seem intent on violence?
Yeah, he pushed me away and stormed into the apartment.
After Mr. Broke stormed into the apartment, what happened?
He saw David in the living room, so he went over and said, "You creep, you should pay for what you did to my brother."
What happened next?
David laughed at him and said, and told him that his brother's a junkie, and
What-
he wanted him to leave.
Okay. After that, what happened?
Wally seemed enraged, so he turned off the radio and he grabbed it, moved it to the balcony.
What happened next?
David screamed "don't" and ran after Wally to the balcony, and then they kind of had a fight, and I saw Wally pushed David over the balcony.
After David was pushed off the balcony, what did you do?
I screamed David, and then I turned toward Wally because I was angry. I mean, he killed my boyfriend, right? So I screamed to David, said, "You killed him! You killed David!" Then I ran out the apartment to where the body was.
Did any police approach you?
Yeah.
Did they question you?
After.
Okay. After they saw David's body, what did they do?
They went back to the apartment and checked the police.
Okay.
Can you speak up, please, one more time?
They went to the apartment and checked the scene.
Thank you. That is all for Ms. Sandra Kowalski.
Thank you very much, counsel. Defense counsel, would you care to cross-examine this witness?
Yes, Your Honor.
Continue.
Ms. Sandra Velosky. Well, there was evidence that suggested you and David were high at the time of his death, correct?
We weren't high.
In the police report, it says specifically that there was marijuana ashes in your apartment,
Yes, but I smoked joints.
so you were high.
But there's no proof they did blood test.
There is definitely proof because there's freshly smoked marijuana ashes in the
I would like
ashtray.
to object, Your Honor. Just because there's marijuana ash in the apartment does not mean Miss Wolowski smoked it.
Please rephrase your question in the form of a question.
May I please talk to the
Yes, you may.
Okay. Question. So David's also been drinking and smoking marijuana, right? Well,
Yes.
David has. Okay. So I'm not sure if you're going to remember this based on the fact that you can't seem to remember that you smoked marijuana or not. But
I would
anyways,
like to object once more.
Yes,
You can,
counsel.
you cannot just assume that she was smoking. I mean that she was high.
Please let
at
him
the time.
finish the question.
But,
Counsel,
yes.
it's fine, I'm gonna overrule your objection and please let the counselor continue.
Okay.
and can I just redo the question?
Absolutely.
Okay. So I'm not sure if you're going to remember this based on the fact that you cannot remember anything from the night of July 14th. But anyways, was it really necessary that David charged at Wally? Your main reason he did was to save the radio. Was it necessary?
Yes, it was because this radio it meant a lot for us.
Okay. If it
You want me to explain how it's important?
Is he allowed to explain how it's important?
That's up to you, counselor.
Yes.
Because we were poor, you know, we don't have a lot of money for this engagement. So he gave me this radio as the engagement gift, so it meant a lot for us.
Well, if it was so sentimental, why didn't you also go after it or tell David to stop before David just, or Wally to stop before David was charged?
Because Wally pushed me on the ground and I was screaming, I couldn't move. I'm only 18, I'm weak.
Okay. And so you did not call the police, correct? Why not?
Because I was shocked.
Did you know that Wally did and not you?
Yes.
Okay.
I told you, I couldn't move. I was pushed.
Doesn't this suggest that he was being more responsible than he was only being?
Maybe.
Okay, and if you're on the ground, how did you see that?
Glasses, okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, defense counsel. Thank you, Eunice. Order in the court.
Your Honor.
Counsel, do you have another witness to call?
Yes. Your Honor, I would like to now call Peter Thomas to the stand.
If you needed the witness to identify the evidence, then yes, I'm sorry, it is too late for that.
Okay, well,
If the evidence relates to a further witness, you may then submit it.
alright, that's fine.
Do you swear, do you swear that the evidence you're about to give to the court and the jury sworn between our sovereign lady the Queen and the prisoner of the bar shall be truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Could you please state your name for the court?
Peter Thomas.
Thank you, Mr. Thomas, you may be seated.
Mr. Thomas, how old are you?
21.
Why are you in jail?
I was convicted for breaking and entering in possession of
How long
Can
did
you speak up a little bit, please, Mr. Thomas? Did you hear that, jurors? Okay, thank you. Continue.
How long is your sentence?
2 years.
What is your relationship with the defendant?
I'm an inmate at the local penitentiary with his brother.
What is your connection to the case?
I overheard the Brogues talking about a betting.
You being a fellow inmate along with Tom Brogue, did this give you some insight to the case?
Tom talked about Wally a lot.
Did you hear the conversation that occurred between Wally and Tom Brogue?
I heard Wally say that he would like to kill Benning and that group does not deserve to live.
What was your reaction to this conversation?
I thought I should tell somebody,
Did you tell anybody?
my parole officer.
Okay. Did you confront Tom Grove?
Yes.
What was his response?
He was kind of scared and agitated.
Thank you. That is all I would like to question about.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Defense counsel, are you cross-examining this
Yes,
witness?
Mr. Thomas. So you only could read some pieces of conversation, correct?
Yes.
So you can't be sure what they actually said then as you and your sister were talking, correct?
Well, I heard what I heard, which was the threat to kill him.
And you are only reporting this information because your parole officer told you to, correct?
Yes.
So you are only saying this for your own self-preservation. But if the parole officer told you, and you just want to seem like a good person to parole board, so basically you're just trying to seem like a good person to parole board, correct? Why didn't you come up with this information on your own if you were so certain it was for the greater good? Is there really any proof you heard anything they said, other than your opinion and you are an inmate?
My sister was there too. We were talking.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, defense counsel. Mr. Thomas, you may be seated. Thank you for your testimony today. Crown counsel, do you have any further witnesses?
No, Your Honor, the charge is about arrest.
Thank you very much, Crown counsel. Defense counsel, do you wish to begin your case and call your first witness?
Yes, we do, Your Honor. We would like to call upon Tom Grove.
Mr. Crowe?
Do you swear that the evidence you're about to give to the court and the jury sworn between our sovereign lady, the Queen, and the prisoner at the bar shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. Please state your name for the court. Thank you, Mr. Brough. You may be seated.
Hello, Tom. So how are you feeling today? So tell me a little bit about yourself.
I'm 19 years old and I live with my parents at 3848 Diamond Avenue.
Okay, and how come you're living with them?
Well, I'm unemployed. I was on parole.
Okay, and what caused you to be in jail?
I was trafficking in narcotics.
And was there a particular reason why you got caught or you were found trafficking these narcotics?
Completed nothing.
And why did you do that?
I didn't know that I was innocent.
Alright. So I understand your brother came to talk to you while you were in jail. What exactly did he talk to you about?
All I can remember is how our conversation ended. And it ended by him saying, I creep like that doesn't deserve to live. And I said, don't do anything stupid. And he said, look, I'm just interested in justice doing that.
And did you believe, what was the reason behind this, why he would say something like that?
He believed that I was innocent because last time when he came to talk to me, we both agreed that I didn't do it. And I would also like to add that what Peter Thomas said about that he overheard Wally tell me that he would like to kill David is not true. He didn't threaten David's life in any way in our conversation. He just said that he's interested in justice being done, and I don't think that in no shape or form proves the intention of killing, and therefore not a first-degree murder charge shouldn't be applied, in my opinion, because he didn't.
Counsel, you feel free to interrupt your witness.
Alright, thank you. So, so you're saying that what his statement was saying is that sorry. So explain to me what you think his statement meant when he said that.
He was just angry about it, and he just felt like he is like a bad person for making me take that blame. But he was not worried about doing something that he would regret. Just something that will okay.
how does your conversation end with your brother?
That was the end of the conversation.
Okay. So, do you think Wally had any intention of killing David?
No, because he doesn't have.
I
any-
object, Your Honor. Again. If you don't think that he would intend to harm anybody's life, then why would you say don't do anything stupid?
Counsel, please address your question to the counselor and not the witness.
So my question is, it's a leading question.
I don't believe it is.
I believe it is.
I asked, do you think Wally had any intention of killing David? That is the witness' opinion, not mine.
Okay, thank you.
Your objection is overruled, but thank you for your
Okay.
witness.
Wally didn't have any past history of being violent, so I don't believe that he would do it.
Thank you for your time.
Counsel, do you wish to cross-examine this witness?
Yes, Your Honor. So, Mr. Tom Rowe, you've been in jail for 9 months for trafficking narcotics, is that correct? So is it not true that your brother, Wally Brogue, was angry during your last meeting with him before the death of David Benning?
He was.
Was angry? So during your last meeting with Wally, did he threaten or say anything negative about David Benning at all?
He didn't threaten his life. No.
That's my question. I asked, did he say anything negative about David Benning at all?
What do you mean by negative?
Well, I'll quote what you said earlier. A creep like that does not deserve to be alive, and I'm interested in justice being done. Did he say this?
Yes.
And why did you not interpret this as a threat?
Because I simply know my brother. He is not a violent person.
Yet, did you believe that he might do something stupid when he said this?
Yeah, I believe that he could do something that will anger David in a way, but never killing him.
Never kill him. So, you did not think he might do something aggressive towards David Benning, even though he believed that he didn't deserve to be alive.
Yes, but yeah.
That's all.
Thank you for testifying. Defense counsel, would you like to call another witness?
Yes, Your Honor. The defense would like to call upon Bonnie Gray.
Do you swear that the evidence you are about to give to the court and jury sworn between yourself and David Lee and the prisoner at the bar shall be truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Thank you. And please state your name for the court.
My name is Bonnie Lee.
Thank you, Ms. Berger. You may proceed.
Hello, Bonnie. So how are you doing today? Good. So to start, you can just tell me a little about yourself.
I'm 28 years old and I'm a real estate agent.
Okay. And so what is your relationship to the accused?
I'm his fiance.
Okay. And so where were you at the night in the events leading up to the unfortunate death of David?
I was that one.
Could you please speak up? I'm afraid the jury members cannot hear you. Can you rephrase, or
Yes.
restate the question?
Where were you that night in the events leading up to the unfortunate death of David?
I was at Wally's apartment.
And what happened at Wall's apartment?
We just had dinner together and then we drove off to David Bennett's apartment.
Why did you go to David's?
Because Wally wanted to convince him, David, to tell that Tom he wasn't guilty. He didn't do it.
And did you think that Wally had any intention to go over to David's house and do anything violent?
No.
How clear, sorry.
Sorry,
I'm
counsel.
under the understanding you did not go to the apartment with Wally
Yes.
and you were at the car. How clearly could you see the scene?
I could just see the scuffle between Wally and David.
Did you ever notice a radio?
No.
Did you ever see anything that looked like Wally intended for David to phone?
No.
Thank you.
Thank you. Crown counsel, do you wish to cross-examine this witness?
So, you said earlier that before the death of David Benning, you and Wally were having dinner. consume wine with dinner?
Yes, we do.
And how much would you say Wally would consume?
I don't know.
Not a lot. So do you admit to feeling lightheaded at that time of the crime?
Yeah.
Yes. So you said that you and Wally both drove together to the Banks car. So during the car ride, how was Wally looked after? Okay. And did he reveal anything about why he was going? He was going to talk David
Yeah.
Benning into. Did he believe that this could be done? Did he believe he could convince David Benning to do this?
Yeah.
Could you do what, counsel? Sorry, could you rephrase that question?
Did you believe that? Oh, sorry. Did Wally Brogue believe that he could talk David Benning into taking the blame for Tom Brogue?
Yeah.
He did fully. Did he believe in his success that day?
No, no.
Not fully. So why do you? So but you still drove even though he was unsure about his success. Interesting. And you said you witnessed the scuffle between David Benning and Wally Brogue that day, and you said you didn't notice the radio. Yet on the map we can see a broken radio lying on the floor.
Objection. This is, she was not in the apartment at the time and was not able to draw a map or see the floor of the apartment.
Counselor Ms. Benning did say that she was able to see the scuffle from the outside.
Right, sorry.
Thank you.
So
Overruled. The objection is overruled.
So on that we can clearly see the location of a broken radio on the balcony. And so you do admit to being lightheaded at the time, right?
Yeah.
You think you accurately could remember the events?
No, no.
Well,
Thank you, Crown Counsel. Defense Counsel, do you have any further witnesses?
Yes, we do. Yes, Your
Oh,
Honor.
I'm sorry, you may be seated. Ms.
Yes,
Benning.
Your Honor.
Thank
We
you.
would like to call upon Wally Brogue to the stand.
Raise your right hand, please. Do you swear that the evidence you're about to give to the court and jury sworn between ourselves and Lady the Queen and the prisoner at the bar shall be true, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. Please state your name for the court.
Wally Brogue.
Thank you, Mr. Brogue. You may be seated.
Hello, Wally. So, I think we'll just get started here. So, where were you in the events leading up to David's death?
I was in my apartment with my fiance.
Sorry, do you mind just telling me again, what exactly was your relationship with David Benning?
He was the one who framed my brother Tom Brogue in a drug trafficking case.
And this aggravated you?
Yeah.
Why did you end up going to the drug?
Because I thought that my brother needs justice and he should, I believe that, David Benning should go and say that it was, my brother wasn't guilty.
So, what did you see when you got to the apartment?
I saw David Benning and, his girlfriend sitting on the couch.
What did you do then?
First I tried to get into the apartment and Sandra wouldn't let me, and I stormed in.
What were they doing when you got there?
I saw marijuana and they were listening to music.
How loud was the music?
It was pretty loud.
So, were they able to hear you with the
No,
radio
they
on?
wasn't.
What did you do next in order for them to hear you?
I did ask David Benning politely to turn off the radio. When he didn't, I did it myself.
What happened when you tried to turn off the radio yourself?
David came, and I tried to go to the balcony because to save myself.
So, what happened on that balcony?
David, because I wanted to get out of the harm's way, I dropped the radio
Okay.
because he was fighting over the radio.
Did David ever charge at you?
Yeah.
And what happened, what caused David to fall?
I think the reason why he stormed at me that caused him to fall off the railing.
What happened next? Like, who called the police after he fell and what was done?
I called the police because I personally had no intent of killing David.
Why didn't you leave the apartment?
Because I was really worried about what had happened.
And what did you say to the police?
I told them that someone had fallen off the balcony.
Did you ever have the intention for David to unfortunately die when you went to talk to him that day?
Not at all.
Thank you.
Thank you, defense counsel. Crown counsel, do you wish to cross-examine this witness?
So, during your last meeting with your brother, Tom Brook, do you recall saying, quote, "A creep like that does not deserve to be alive," and quote, "I'm just interested in justice being done." Do you recall saying these things? You do. And so, according to your fiance, you and her drove to the apartment together, is that correct? And while you were in the car, you would admit to tell her that you were completely sure about convincing David Benning to take the blame for that?
I wasn't completely sure.
So you admit that you did not feel that you would be successful that day?
I did have the intent of trying my best.
Okay. So according to you, who opened the door?
Sandra.
And when Sandra opened the door, do you attest to barging past her into the apartment?
Objection, Your Honor. These are not yes or no questions.
I just asked to attest to barging Sandra out of the room.
I don't know these things are going to but like a few decent ones. It's kind of like it's not like he's kind of I don't know.
Okay, counsel, you must
Sorry.
be clear about your
Yeah,
objections.
that's my
Thank you.
voice.
Sorry.
I'll
Continue.
read. So when Sandra goes to open the door, did you charge faster into the apartment?
Yes, because she was in the room.
Okay. And you said you were mad at Tom Brook's imprisonment. And so you went to go turn off the radio, according to you,
Yes.
and it had fallen when you tried to turn it on,
Yes.
and you went to go pick it up. Correct.
Yes.
And so, according to you, David Benning then charged at you.
Yep.
So, and then that caused you to fall over the balcony.
Yes.
Correct. So you attested there being no scuffle between you two on the balcony because he just charged at you.
There was a scuffle.
There was a scuffle.
Yeah.
Okay. And so there was a physical fight between the two of you that day.
It was an argument, not a physical fight, because
I just asked you if there was a scuffle or not physical.
he was trying to take away the radio from me.
So there was a little bit of pushing and shoving. Okay. So during the pushing and shoving, it was over the radio, am I correct?
Yes.
The violence.
Thank you, Crown counsel. You may be seated. Thank you for your testimony. Defense counsel, do you have any further witnesses?
No, Your Honor, the defense. No, Your Honor, the defense says.
Thank you, defense counsel. Crown counsel, do you wish to make your closing statement?
Yes, Your Honor. I would like to conclude my case by stating that Wally Broke is responsible for the death of David Benning. According to my knowledge, Broke had planned the whole scene out. Due to the fact that he discussed his plan with Tom Broke and witness Peter Thomas can confirm this. Wally is responsible for first-degree murder due to the fact that he intended on the killing by stating that a creep like that does not deserve to be alive. And according to Sandra and Bonnie, the two witnesses also involved, they can both confirm that they saw Wally push David over the balcony. Therefore, the only reason that Wally stayed was because he was shocked and guilty. The only reason that he called the police was not because he was worried about what would happen to Bennings, but he was worried because what would happen to himself. It was simply a guilty intention. Therefore, Wally Broke is responsible for the death of David Bennings. Your Honor, my fellow jury, I would also like to add that if this man does not go behind bars, think about the innocent people in our community. Think about the children. Think about the families. Think about Sandra, who now has to grieve over the man that she fell in love with. Think about the people that will be killed if they get on Wally Broke's bad side. Think about the future of the citizens today. Your Honor, my fellow jury, if this man is able to walk out of the courtroom today, just know that innocent lives will be at risk. Thank you.
Thank you, Crown Counsel. Very powerful closing statement. Defense Counsel, do you wish to make your closing statement?
Hello, jury. Hope our words and our proof have shown you that Wally is not a guilty man. I truly believe he's innocent, and I think you should all yourselves. This man was not out for blood, I can tell you that much. He just wanted to set things straight and look out for his family. Haven't all of you ever wanted to look out for your family? The family you love and you trust and you never want to have put in any harm? This man, David, put his brother, Tom, in jail. That is why Wally wanted to confront him and tell him that this was wrong. However, David just ignored it, and he insulted Wally to his face, and then charged at Wally as he was standing on the balcony. Unfortunately, this action that he did as he was intoxicated and high caused him to unfortunately fall over the balcony. Then, my client called the police as he was very worried about what had happened. And this is why the whole problem had occurred. Wally had no intention to cause harm to David. He just wanted to set things straight for his brother. And I know that the events that happened were unfortunate and very sad, and my condolences to Sandra. But Wally did not have the intention to kill David.
Thank you, Defense Counsel. So, jury, you have a tough job on your hands. You're here today to hear the facts of the case and to listen to the testimony, which is part of the evidence of the case. You have hard evidence and you have witness testimony. You may decide to believe all of the witness testimony. You may decide to believe none of the witness testimony. Or you may decide to believe part of the witness's testimony. It is up to you what you choose to believe in this case. It's important for you to understand in this case the difference between first-degree murder, second-degree murder, and manslaughter, because that is what you need to decide today. The important element of difference is the intent involved. First-degree murder is premeditated and is planned and deliberate. So you have to determine today whether Wally Brogue was deliberate in pre-planning the events that took place to cause David Benning's death. Second-degree murder is not planned. Manslaughter is simply the killing of another person by an unlawful act, such as assault. It is not necessary to prove intent to kill another person or intent to inflict injury likely to cause death in order to establish manslaughter. For manslaughter to be proved, it is necessary only to prove that death resulted from an act of the accused person and that this act was unlawful. A shot or blow delivered in self-defense may, of course, be lawful if it is delivered in circumstances which justifies the use of such force. So you need to consider, was it manslaughter? Was it first-degree murder? The sections of the Criminal Code which define murder and manslaughter and sentencing guidelines for each are complicated. In the case of Ontario versus Brogue, they can be summarized as follows. A, if it could be proven beyond a reasonable doubt that Wally Brogue went to David Benning's apartment with the intention of killing him, then Wally is guilty of first-degree murder. He must be sentenced to life in prison with no eligibility for parole for 10 years, for 25 years, sorry. If it can be proven beyond a reasonable doubt that even though he had not planned it, Wally Brogue pushed David Benning over the balcony with the intention of causing death or bodily harm, which could result in death, then Wally is guilty of second-degree murder. Again, the required sentence is life imprisonment, but in this case, I can decide whether Wally will be eligible for parole after 10 to 25 years. C, if it can be proven beyond a reasonable doubt that Wally is provoked into committing some act in the heat of passion and resulted in the death of David Benning, then Wally is guilty of manslaughter. In this case, I will decide the terms of the sentence. If none of the above can be proven beyond a reasonable doubt, then Wally Brogue is not guilty, and I must let Wally go free. So you need to decide today whether it was an accident and Wally must be acquitted, or whether it is manslaughter, second degree, or first degree pre-planned murder. This is your job today. So as you deliberate, please take witness testimony and the evidence of the trial that was presented today as factual as possible. And I will allow the court clerk to recess the court as the jury deliberates.
Court is now recessed.
Maybe other.
As they had asked me, what do you think he was thinking? So you couldn't possibly affect it to him trying to get into the mind of Wally and Winston. Okay, that's the but that's fine, it's fun to practice the objectives, let them not matter, this is a practice jury, right? So good for you guys, so convincing. Good job, court clerk, did an awesome job today, thank you. Defense counsel, you guys rock. Really good. I am so impressed with this classroom. I am so happy that this is the one we've recorded, and I'm pretty excited about this. That's, you know, but I mean, if you were a practice lawyer, obviously you'd be a little more comfortable with these kinds of things. But considering what you guys, you really thought outside the box with some of your cross-examination questions too. I thought that was excellent. So good job. Very good job. I can see you guys being lawyers. That's great. Oh, you're welcome. I've had such a good time. It's fantastic. This is one of my favorite classes, I think, doing law trials, I gotta say. Yeah, it does help you to see what a lawyer has to go through too, and the things that you're allowed and not allowed to do in court, and how your line of questioning has to follow certain rules, right? And I'm not an experienced judge. Lots of times I'll have a lawyer come in and play the role of judge, and get a lawyer for these ones. It's nice when you bring a lawyer in to play the judge, because they have fun doing that too.
Yeah.
And you can ask some questions like they can answer. But the whole purpose of the presentation of this workshop is to get you guys just understanding how a courtroom runs. So it doesn't really matter who wins or loses, that's not the point, but it's so fun, isn't it?
It's a lot different.
Yeah, it's that's 30 Olympic night out.
Yeah, and people like objections to something and all that. I guess it's more effective.
Well, you can object, absolutely, if there's something to object to, but you have to name your objection. So you have to say, whether it's leading or opinion or whatever the objection is, right? But, I mean, we didn't go over that, so I don't expect you guys to do it. Jury's back.
Prosecution.
Okay. So I'm technically
Court is now in session, all rise.
You may be seated. So the jury has come to its conclusion on the fate of Wally Brogue. Do we have a foreman of the jury?
We, the jury members, having looked at all the witness testimonies and the testimony of Mr. Brogue himself, have decided that he is innocent beyond any doubt.
Thank you very much.
I refuse.
One year.
I refuse.
Congratulations.
Objection, Your Honor.